25 questions for the 2025 season. I have all the questions here from the article. Let's go ahead and read it. All right, the first question is, when will Kyle Busch win again? I don't know. I'm a Kyle Busch fan, so I really can't necessarily say for sure. Might be a little biased, but I would say it's either going to be on a super speedway, maybe Daytona, or maybe some kind of like crazy strategy. Other than that, he's not going to go out there and dominate no race. Unfortunately, the 2018-2019 days of dominating are well behind us. So I'd say he can win this year, but it's going to take some crazy turn of events for that to happen. All right, question 2. Does Hendrick Motorsports snap its 3-year Cup title drought? I'm going to say no. And why? Maybe we'll answer later. I don't know all the questions. But man, these playoffs, it's just Hendrick has Kyle Larson, William Byron, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott. Elliott and Bowman right now just aren't championship contenders in my opinion. Larson and Byron very well could, but Kyle Larson, I feel like, always comes up a little short in the playoffs. He has a pretty good regular season. He'll come up short in the playoffs. Byron, I don't know. I think Byron needs to step it up. But does Hendrick Motorsports snap its 3-year Cup Series title drought? I think they're going to have a good year. Don't get me wrong, but no, I'm going to have to say no on this one. Question 3. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the camera. How big a step does RFK Racing take? I'm going to say not as big as some people might think. Some people might think they expanded the 3 cars. They're going to be championship level contenders maybe. I'm going to say they're going to be like their same old ways. Probably grab a couple wins here and there, but I don't think they're taking a major step this year. So how big a step does RFK Racing take? I'll say they'll probably get 2 cars into the playoffs. That's probably the biggest step they're going to take. And by the round of 8, they'll probably all be eliminated. So a mini step for RFK Racing. Question 4. Can Trackhouse Racing place at least 2 cars in the playoffs? Of course they can. They got 3 cars now. Suarez, Chastain, and Van Gisbergen. So I'm going to say Van Gisbergen probably wins a road course race. Chastain's probably either going to point his way in or get a win somewhere. That's 2 right there. Suarez, unless he wins a super speedway race, he ain't getting in the playoffs. So I'd say Chastain and Van Gisbergen 100% are getting into the playoffs, in my opinion. So I'd say, yes, Trackhouse can get 2 cars into the playoffs. Question number 5. Will Bubba Wallace get off to a better start? I feel like each year he's kind of gotten a little better. He's improved year after year. So why not continue the streak of getting better and better? I'm going to say Bubba does. I feel like he's going to get off to a better start. Is he going to win? Maybe. Maybe he'll grab a win somewhere. But I honestly don't think he's going to win unless it's a super speedway race or some kind of crazy strategy. Yes, I think he can be a consistent top 10 in points all season driver. But will we see that? I'm going to say yes, but honestly, I have no idea. Question 6. Can Joey Logano reach the championship for it in an odd number year? No, there is no way he is reaching the championship for this year. I can guarantee that. He is an even number year driver. If you go back and look at the odd number years, it's kind of crazy that it's the same driver. Odd years and even years are very different for Joey Logano. Championship hangover happens a lot with Joey. I think it's going to happen again in 2025. I honestly don't even know if he's going to make the playoffs, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. So will Logano reach the championship for it? Absolutely not. Question 7. What does 2025 entail entail for Spire Motorsports? I feel like people think they're gonna have like some crazy year. I think you're gonna be let down a little bit. I don't think any of the cars are getting in the playoffs unless it's like the main topic of this video, unless you win at a super speedway. You are not getting into the playoffs if you are Spider Mode. Did I just say Spider? Spider Motorsports? If you are Spire Motorsports, you are not getting into the playoffs unless you somehow win a super speedway race. Or maybe Michael McDowell or Carson Osavar can maybe get a sneaky win at a road course. Other than that, yeah, I'm sorry. There's just too much. The playing field is too even for me to believe that Spire Motorsports can get to the playoffs over some other drivers. So I'm going to say top 20 in points, probably somewhere between 19 and 24 for at least two of the Spire Motorsports cars will be good. Did I just say Spire Motorsports again? Let's go. And then the next question. Will Team Penske have more than 2 wins by the 14th race of the season? That's a very oddly specific question. Sure, Ryan Blaney can probably win a couple races. And maybe like a super speedway. I'll say yes. I'll say Ryan Blaney can probably win maybe he can win at Atlanta. He's been pretty good there. I don't know if he's won there yet for sure or not. Blaney can win at Atlanta and then like Phoenix. That's like 2 of the first 4 or 5 races, so I'll say yeah, Team Penske wins 2 of the first 14 races of the season. That is a very oddly specific question, if you ask me, but number 9, when does Joe Gibbs Racing win the streak end? It's gonna end very early on in the season, if not by the 5th race of the season. Joey Logano, well, I think he's going to have a fantastic season. Chase Briscoe, same. I think he's going to have at least 2 or 3 wins. I cannot talk today. Denny Hamlin can always win anywhere, almost. Maybe. Ty Gibbs, I don't know what to think of Ty Gibbs yet. I'm going to say this is a little of a prediction for the Daytona 500. I think Christopher Bell is going to win the Daytona 500. Oklahoma. Christopher Bell from Norman, Oklahoma. Fellow Okie. Let's go win that Daytona 500. All right. Question number 10. Noah Gragson is the old man at Furniture Row. Oh, Noah Gragson is the old man at Front Row Motorsports. At age 26, man, he's so old, man. I can't believe he's still in the sport. Does that matter in the team's growth with Gragson, Todd Gilliland, and Zane Smith? I don't think it matters too much. Other than that they're all pretty similar in age, so I'm sure they can all help each other out. If they're lacking in a specific thing or they're just struggling with something. But I feel like it pretty much doesn't mean anything. I mean, they're all young. They're all very talented. They all got some speed in those Front Row Motorsports cars. I mean, it shouldn't matter too much with the team's growth. I'll say no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, possibly, but I'll say no. Question 11. Is this the year the rumors go away for Alex Bowman? I feel like the rumors are never going to go away with Alex Bowman as long as he's in that 48 car. It's just, when you have Kyle Larson, William Byron, Chase Elliott as teammates, and then you, Alex Bowman, at best, grab about 1 or 2 wins this season, finish about the top 12 in the standings, there's always going to be rumors that you are not good enough to be at Hendrick Motorsports and get booted out of there. So no, unfortunately, I feel like the rumors will never go away for Alex Bowman, which is unfortunate because he is pretty talented. It sucks. I mean, if injuries don't happen, who knows where Alex Bowman's career could be at right now. Next question, I guess. What are the new driver crew chief pairings to watch this season? Interesting question. I feel like Rodney Childress and Justin Haley? I don't know. I just got a feeling. Sorry, I gotta adjust the lighting. It looks off to me, but it looks fine. Rodney Childers and Justin Haley. I feel like they're gonna do something special. Even though I just said, y'all be like, what are you talking about? You just said they ain't making the playoffs. They don't gotta make the playoffs to make something special happen. I feel like maybe with Rodney Childers and Justin Haley in that Spire Motorsports truck. I'm sorry, there's gonna be so many bloopers in this video. In their car. He ain't in the truck series, he's in that Cup Series number 7 car. I feel like there's potential for a top 21, 20 finish. I feel like they can do some pretty good things in that car. Rodney Childers and Justin Haley, so watch out for that driver crew chief duo. Alright, we are about halfway done with the questions. Question number 13. How could the schedule impact the playoff race? There's quite a few new playoff races, there's quite a few new playoff races like New Hampshire, Gateway. Those are the only two that come to mind, the top of my head. They might be the only 2 new tracks, but then like Talladega's in the round of 8. So I feel like the biggest schedule impact is going to be that Talladega race in the round of 8. I feel like that's really going to throw a monkey wrench into things. Like, what if Kyle Larson, for example, has a great season, doesn't win in the round of 8, gets caught up in the big one, and like gets eliminated or something? People are gonna be pretty mad if that happens. So I'm gonna say that Talladega round of 8 race will probably have the biggest impact or biggest schedule change of the playoffs this year. Question 14. How will competing in the double this year impact Kyle Larson? I keep doing that. This is a desk right here. My hands keep flicking against it. If the double doesn't get rained out in either race, I feel like Kyle Larson is going to get a bunch of attention everywhere. If he can finish top 15 in the IndyCar race and go out and like win at Charlotte, I feel like he'd be like a headliner. Like, that'd be huge news in the sports world. But if he like crashes in the Indy 500 or just has a lackluster race, goes out at Charlotte and finishes like 15th or something, I feel like everything might die down a little bit. Like, obviously it'll be a big thing, but if he can go out and have good performances in both of those races, I feel like he can get a lot more attention and get a lot more people watching. But I feel like it will have a very big impact as long as it goes good. Question 15. With Harrison Burton in the Xfinity, that's kind of weird. It should say in the Xfinity series, but okay. With Harrison Burton in Xfinity and Martin Truex Jr. not racing full time, there will be at least 2 drivers who make the playoffs this year who didn't last year. Who are ones to watch? That is a good question. Top of my head, Bubba Wallace. I feel like he's making the playoffs. He's going to have a good season, like I just said. I really have to think about it. Like, my mind might change after making this video. But from the top of my head, I have to feel like it'd be Bubba Wallace and Shane Van Gisbergen. You could be like, oh, what about Ross Chastain? What about Chris Buescher? Whoever you want to say, I don't know. Maybe Kyle Busch. I didn't even think of Kyle Busch. Just in my opinion, if there's 2 drivers who are going to make the playoffs this year who didn't last year, Bubba Wallace, Shane Van Gisbergen. Those are my 2 drivers. Shane Van Gisbergen, you could be like, he didn't even race full-time last year. So if we're just sticking with the 2 full-time drivers from last year, I'd say Bubba and probably Chris Buescher. But Shane, Bubba, Chris Buescher, however you take that question, that's my answer. I promise you, I did not look at these questions before I started, except like the first 2 or 3. Is this Christopher Bell's year? I was just talking about how, y'all go back, I don't remember what I said, but I was just talking about how I felt like this could be a big year for Christopher Bell, and then this question pops up. Yes, I think this is Christopher Bell's year. I think he's going to win the Daytona 500. I think he's going to win the championship too this year. I thought he was going to win the championship last year. Just didn't happen. I mean, if he doesn't wall ride at Martinsville and some shady stuff goes on, maybe this is a different story. But 2025, I believe, is the year of Christopher Bell. Question number 17. Can a Hendrick driver other than Kyle Larson win in the playoffs? Of course. Now, I'm assuming win in the playoffs means win a race in the playoffs, not win the championship. Because I'm pretty sure that's what the question's asking, is if they can win a race in the playoffs, which, of course, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, maybe except for Alex Bowman, all those drivers could win almost at any track. It's 100% chance, I believe, someone other than Kyle Larson and Hendrick could easily win a race in the playoffs, especially William Byron. And speaking of William Byron, question 18, will William Byron become a dominant playoff driver? 2023 was like kind of a breakout year for William Byron. In 2024, at the beginning of the year, I was kind of thinking the same thing, but after he won those first 3 races at the start of the year, kind of toward the summer and onwards, William Byron fell off. I just don't know if William Byron can be a dominant playoff driver. It's either going to go either way. He's either going to be dominant or he's going to be consistent, but not in a dominant way. I'm going to say he does not become a playoff dominant driver. I feel like other guys like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, maybe even Chase Briscoe. I have high hopes for Chase Briscoe this year. I feel like drivers like that have a lot better chance of being a dominant playoff driver than William Byron. So I'm going to say no, he does not become a dominant driver in the playoffs. Question number 19. We're almost at the end of this already. Which driver in a new ride will have the most success in 2025? I was just talking about it. Chase Briscoe. I feel like Briscoe has been very hit or miss so far at Stewart-Haas Racing, which, with the equipment they were giving him, you can't blame him. This year will prove if Chase Briscoe is the real deal or not. And I feel like he is. I think Chase Briscoe is going to have around 3 wins this year. I think he's going to go pretty deep into the playoffs, at least the round of 8. Especially since there's no Talladega until the round of 8. I think Chase Briscoe can easily make it all the way to the round of 8. Will he win the championship? I don't think so. I think he'll make it to the round of 8 though. So I'll say Chase Briscoe is my guy to look out for in a new ride in 2025. Question number 20. Is this the year Ty Gibbs scores his first Cup Series win? I don't know. I think he easily can. At the same time, easily can't. It's 50-50. I think Ty Gibbs, if he's going to win somewhere, super speedway or road course. And maybe Darlington. I feel like Ty Gibbs is always pretty good at Darlington. Other than that, I don't think he's winning. I think Ty Gibbs could win at a road course as long as Shane Van Gisbergen doesn't get in the way. I'm gonna say, why not? Ty Gibbs gets his first win this year. Why not? 2021. This is question 21. There were so many bloopers in this. I am sorry. I'm like stuttering. I'm like saying the wrong thing. Oops. How far can Richard Childress Racing bounce back? Austin Dillon is, at this point, Austin Dillon might be better off retiring than racing. But I just don't think they're going to bounce back that much. Kyle Busch, unless he wins at a road course or a super speedway, it just ain't happening. I'm sorry. There's so many competitive teams out there that Richard Childress Racing, I hate to say it, but I think they are on the decline. 2022, I felt like they're kind of on the up. Both drivers made the playoffs. 2023 with Kyle Busch even kind of flattened out a little bit, but still on the up. And 2024 was just directly downhill from that. I feel like it's going to continue until Austin Hill can get a full-time ride for RCR. Other than that, I think Austin Dillon needs to be replaced by Austin Hill. Boot one Austin and put in another if you want to have semi-competitive equipment, but it's not looking good for RCR at this point. 22, we're almost done. 9 drivers broke winless streaks of 42 races or more last year. Who is next? And there's the list right here. Jimmy Johnson, I'm sorry, he's racing like Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600. He ain't winning. Justin Haley. Though I think they're going to have a good year, like I said, but a win? A win? A win? I don't think so. Eric Jones, nah. Legacy Motor Club, I think they have a few more years to go until they're anywhere near race-winning caliber team. Bubba Wallace, I think Bubba might be the guy. Like William Byron here is on this list, 28 winless streak. I'm going to say the question says 9 drivers broke winless streaks of 42 races or more last year. So I'm going to go off who has a winless streak of more than 42 races, which would be Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, Justin Haley, and technically Jimmy Johnson. I think it's got to be Bubba Wallace. I think he's going to have a good year this year. I think Bubba's the guy you got to look out for if you're talking about who is going to break a winless streak first. It doesn't say who, like everyone who's going to do it. It says who's next. And out of these guys, I think Bubba's going to be the first guy. So give me Bubba Wallace for that question. Another 2311 racing question. 2311 Racing enters its 5th season. It's been 5 years already. Bruh. I remember that first year in, what was it, 2021? Was it 21 or 2024? Yeah, 2021. Bruh. I can't believe it's been 5 years. That's insane. Alright. Anyways. Is this the year they win the championship? And no, not at all. You could be like, oh, but Tyler Reddick, I'm sorry. They are not winning the championship. At least in the next few years. You could be like, who does win the championship? Look at that driver in the number 20. But I don't think this is the year for 2011 Racing to win the championship. I think they can have a good year, especially now that they've added Riley Herbst. I don't think he'll necessarily do good, but I think the racing team in general, will probably be. They've been going up on the chart ever since their first year. So I think they'll have a good year. That's crazy though. They won in 2021, the first year. They won in 22. They won last year in 24. Did they win in 2023? I think so. They had to have. I'm not for sure in 2023. I'm sure Tyler Reddick won a race in 2023 for them, but I don't think they're winning a championship. Question 24, only 2 more left. How many race winners will there be this season? Ooh, that is a good question. I think there's going to be more than 16 winners, but I don't think all 16 might necessarily make the playoffs. I think it might have like 14 different winners before the playoffs, get a few more after. You know what, 16. I think we'll have 16 different winners this season. Let's see how that prediction ages. And now, the last question of this video. 5 drivers have combined to score more than 40% of the runner-up finishes in the past 2 Cup Series seasons. Will they continue to run toward the front in 2025? Excuse me. I think so. Let's see, I think the 5 drivers here are Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, William Byron. Oh yeah, if it's those 5 drivers, 100% they're running up toward the front of the field. Most likely all 5 of those drivers are going to win a race this year. I mean, yeah, I'd say they probably all win a race this year. So yes, question 25, I'd say yes, they are all probably going to run up in the front in 2025 and probably all win a race. So that is the end of this video of reacting to this article. I had a pretty good time. There's a lot of bloopers though. I feel like the sun's gone down a lot too. Go back from the beginning of the video till now. I feel like this room has gotten a lot darker, but anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed. Look out for a 2025 playoff and just in general season predictions video. That's a video I'm looking forward to making. But that's the end for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. NASCAR season is almost here. It's Daytona 500 is officially less than a month away, so I'm excited for the 500. I'm excited for the whole season. I feel like this is going to be the best season in a long time, so we'll see how it goes. But until next time, have a good one. See ya.